Hey, my name is Ability Godwin, and in today's video we're talking about the ABA Commission files, the women who forced the British to back down in the year 1930. Before we get into it, let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever heard of a protest so organized, so loud, and so fearless that an entire colonial system had to call an official inquiry just to understand what happened? Because this story is not just about anger. It is about strategy. It is about women using culture, unity, and sheer numbers to shake an empire. The British tried to investigate the women, but those same files ended up proving just how powerful the women really were. What the ABA Commission was really about. The uprising you're hearing about is often called Women's War, and sometimes labeled the ABA riots in colonial language. It took place in late 1929 and ran into early 1930. After the unrest, the colonial government launched inquiries, including what became known as the ABA Commission of Inquiry, a formal investigation into the disturbances in the Calabar and Owerri provinces. The commission was not a rumor, not a legend, not a movie scene. It was printed officially by government printers, and it exists in library catalogs as a title report, often described as a report of the ABA Commission of Inquiry. The spark that lit it. Here is what many people miss. This did not begin as a grand political manifesto. It began with fear that women were about to be taxed, and that the colonial system of warrant chiefs was tightening control over everyday life, markets, and local justice. So what did the women do? They mobilized across towns and networks, using a traditional protest form often described as sitting on man, surrounding and publicly shaming officials through songs, chants, and constant presence. Not one or two women, not one village, thousands across a wide area. The moment the British realized this was different, the colonial authorities were used to dealing with men. Meetings, chiefs, intermediaries, paperwork. But this was not that. This was crowds of women showing up in numbers that made normal enforcement impossible, using methods the administration did not control. The result was unrest across a huge region and a brutal crackdown that left many women dead. According to multiple summaries of the event, the ABA Commission files, the receipts in black and white, because after the protests, the British system did what colonial systems often do. It created a commission. It demanded testimonies. It created a record, and the record matters. One widely cited overview notes the commission held public sittings over 38 days and heard hundreds of witnesses, but only a fraction were women. And there are versions of the notes of evidence published online, presenting portions of witness statements from the commission. That is why you called it files, because that paperwork is the bridge between oral memory and documented history. Plot twist, the women did not just protest. They forced reforms. The protests contributed to major changes in the local colonial administration, including reforms around the warrant chief system and women's involvement in local courts in some areas, as documented in summaries of the results. So imagine the irony. A colonial system designed to rule without women's voices had to sit down, take statements, and eventually adjust policy, because women refused to be ignored. We've come to the end of the story, and if you made it this far, you're a real one. I hope you enjoyed every bit of what we uncovered today. Thank you for watching and for sticking with me. Now, do me a quick favor. Subscribe, like, and share this video. Drop a comment with your thoughts, and turn on your post notifications or hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next one. Thank you.